Work. 5, 6.
The 40th JTA Sagicor National Athletics Championships, June 20 and 21. The time is
7 o'clock. CVM News at 7, headlines Thursday, brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, Parliament considers tougher tobacco laws with focus on child protection. Teacher and taxi operator killed in St. James. Meanwhile, brothers among 4 men fatally shot by the police in Westmoreland. In Numbers Don't Lie, battleground heats up in eastern St. Thomas. And in sports, top Jamaican athletes reportedly in the process of switching allegiance to Turkey. But J3A's yet to receive formal notification.
CVM News at 7, headlines Thursday, brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy.
Should critical illness strike, don't let worry fill your head. Say hello to happiness and goodbye to worry with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan. Secure your medical expenses in the event of critical illness ahead of time while benefiting from our investment portfolio and so much more. Give yourself and your family the peace of mind you deserve with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan today. And live secure, live easy.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Thursday, June 19, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks for having joined us. Firefighters arrived on the scene swiftly, battling the blaze for several hours while they were able to contain the fire. It's understood that several homes were completely ravaged and others sustained significant damage. We have more of what happened from Kevin Black over in Cassia Park, St. Andrew.
10 people are now homeless following a massive fire which destroyed 6 houses at 41.5 Reddy's Road on Thursday. The conflagration left 2 people nursing injuries, including a grief-stricken Maxine White Lambert, who told our news team she lost all her belongings.
I lost everything. I lost washing machine, my Delco, my popcorn machine, everything from a pin to an anchor bun out over there. Nothing left. Yes, man, I want to eat, I don't mind because I don't know where to go tonight. See, they barefoot, no clothes, nothing for me. I wouldn't mind something come, even tent, something for me, a mattress, something for we eat, little more, something for we do something.
People's National Party (PNP) candidate for East Central St. Andrew, Dennis Gordon, mentioned that he is aware of Lambert's injuries and is making provisions to assist in her recovery.
I am going to house her elsewhere. She's going to my hospital now for checks, and then we're going to take her into the home. So at least we know that she's healthy and we have a place for her to live until we work something out.
Gordon mentioned that $1 million worth of material is already approved and ready to be collected by victims. He says this is to facilitate a recovery effort in the aftermath of the tragedy.
Immediately having discussion with the residents who are impacted, they want to build back. So I approve $1 million worth of material at Duns so they can start to go and collect those materials to start rebuilding. But from my own grant, I've given them $1.1 million. And I will continue to monitor whatever else I can do, I will do it.
Gordon is reassuring residents of his ongoing support, which will assist in their rebuilding and recovery. Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
A 5-year-old girl is still traumatized after a horrifying incident allegedly committed by a man who was once her stepfather. Reports are the 31-year-old adult of a Petersfield address in Westmoreland sexually assaulted the little child who was his ex-girlfriend's daughter. The accused, who was reportedly taken into custody, was charged earlier this week with grievous sexual assault. A police officer who confirmed the incident told CVM News that based on the nature of the case, he is unable to give specifics, but related that the individual will appear before the Westmoreland Parish Court in short order. A late-night incident in a St. James community has left residents in shock and grief. What began as an ordinary evening ended in a double murder. Our reporter Akeem Oret has the details.
It was just after 10 o'clock Wednesday night when gunfire rang out along Gineptree Lane in Mount Pelias, St. James, breaking the stillness and leaving heartbreak in its wake. Inside a blue Toyota Voxy, residents say 2 lives were snatched. 32-year-old Vanessa Williams, a teacher described as gentle, and 36-year-old Matthew Chin, a hard-working taxi operator. According to reports, the two were ambushed. Vanessa's body was found face down beside the vehicle, while Matthew lay slumped across the front passenger seat. The community is still in shock. Both victims were rushed to the Cornwall Regional Hospital, but by the time they arrived, it was too late. Vanessa's students will now return to her classroom missing her voice. Matthew's regular passengers will wait at corners he'll never pull up again. The motive behind the killing remains unclear, but what's certain is that 2 families are now in mourning, and a quiet lane will never be the same. As investigators search for answers, the community is left with memories and a cry for justice. Akeem Oret, CVM News.
Meanwhile, a housekeeper from Whitehall District in Negril was reportedly arrested and charged for the theft of $1,000 from a guest room at the Princess Hotel in the parish. 26-year-old Selena Brown is facing charges of larceny. Reports are that Ms. Brown, who was recently employed to the Princess Hotel as a housekeeper, was given the task to clean a room on Tuesday morning. Upon the guests' return, they discovered that the aforementioned money was missing. A report was made to the front desk. After a thorough investigation, it was discovered that the cash was reportedly stolen by Ms. Brown. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, Brown reportedly confessed to being the perpetrator of the act. This resulted in her being arrested and subsequently charged. In other news now, a team of geology experts that team is imploring local authorities to manage waterways and other water resources properly before it's too late. As Adrian Williams dives into the concerns being shared, here's the story.
Geologists and hydrologists from the University of the West Indies Mona campus are imploring authorities to enforce better management of water sources and waterways which provide the precious commodity for the Kingston and St. Andrew corporate area. Coordinator for the Institute for Sustainable Development and the Director of the Center for Environmental Management at the University of the West Indies, Dr. David Smith, believes better management of watersheds are needed.
If we people are in Kingston and we like the benefit of water, we pay very little attention to the maintenance of the watersheds that provide us with the water. We pay very little attention to the quality of life of the people who live in the watersheds that provide us with water, and we need to change that.
Senior lecturer in the Department of Geography and Geology at the UWI Mona campus, Dr. R. Peter Mandel, seconds the plea for better management, highlighting that our water quality options have been reduced.
Kingston wells are contaminated. There are about 30 wells in Kingston, groundwater wells. Right now we have 11 wells which are pumping. And of that, 6 are from NWC and the rest are private wells. Now they shut down all the remaining because of sewage, improper sewage management and saline water. Now I am seeing sewage pipes being laid in Kingston, in some areas, they are dug and sewage pipes are. So I hope it will be improved and new wells will open up. Old wells will be opened up.
We see here a heavy intake flow coming from the Yalas River in St. Thomas, but the opposite seen here coming from the Hope River in St. Andrew.
So we have heard hydrologists and geologists encouraging persons to treat the water sources with respect, along with encouraging government policies to ensure persons stay in line. I'm Adrian Williams reporting for CVM News.
The government is commending the recent successes driving down major crimes in Jamaica. The information minister highlighted the push for safety and security in the country at the latest post-cabinet media briefing.
Major crimes are down again, and the government is underscoring its efforts in the endeavour from resources to legislative amendments for gun-related crimes and murders.
Murders are down 44.2%. So every week it gets better and better. Jamaica is becoming safer every single day. And when we look at the numbers since the start of the year up to June 14, and this is the data up to June 14, which is not that far, so a few days ago, murders are down by 44.2%. Shootings are down by 32.5%, and overall major crimes are down by 18.8%.
When compared to the same period for 2024, that translates to a whopping over 200 lives saved.
Fewer Jamaicans have lost their lives to senseless violence. That's 240 people here who would not have been here but for the work of the JCF and the work of the administration. And so, as always, I put that first because that is a very important news story, and us getting safer and safer is important for us to celebrate as a country.
Dr. Morris says the thrust to provide a safer country extended to other areas, including agriculture, long preyed upon by criminals.
The government's intensified fight against predial larceny with the launch of the Agricultural Protection Branch of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And this new branch was officially launched on June 13. And the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, the Honorable Floyd Green, he welcomed the new branch, and he noted that this was a clear response to farmers' long-standing concerns about theft. So the APB, which is what we're calling it, will be structured around agricultural protection units spread across all of JCF's 5 area commands and covering 19 regions.
Angela Melville, CVM News.
Our news package continues in a moment.
The gateway for Jamaica's athletes to several international competitions, including the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan, opens from Thursday, June 26 to Sunday, June 29 for the J3A Junior and Senior National Championships at the National Stadium, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. each day. Admission, finish area season ticket, $8,000. Daily, $1,000 to $3,000. Regular grandstand season ticket, $6,500. Daily, $1,000 to $2,500. Tickets go on sale at mysticonlinetix.com. Starting June 11, Pegasus Hotel and the Stadium Ticket Office. Starting Monday, June 23. The action will be sizzling.
What you did for fun?
Running. I love running. From I was a little girl, I remember that everything I do, I would run. And as a result, my mom made me the child of choice to be sent to the supermarket. Was it Rio or was it Beijing World Championship? I ran it off my lane. I didn't hit anybody, so I got the finals. I ran my heart out and I got bronze. I make sure that the last thing I do on the track is pray. Always put the race in God's hand. And by doing that, whatever the result is, I can be at peace.
10 jumping jacks.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. You better work. 5, 6.
Thanks so much for staying with us. The period of waiting for some students who require assessment is very discouraging and has been put forward as a serious cause for concern, which contributes to the unfavorable statistics now showing up in their inability to function with their peers. That subject was among matters raised during a question and answer session on matters relating to education hosted by the opposition People's National Party. More from Curlin Brown.
Issues surrounding the assessment of students who are not functioning at the required levels at one named school continue to dog the education system, with the opposition fanning the flame.
The principal indicate that there is a waiting list of up to 4 years for persons to be assessed. There have been persons identified in grade 2 that have graduated at grade 6 without being effectively assessed.
The opposition spokesperson on education, Damon Crawford, seizing the opportunity to zoom in on options being considered by his party.
There are some aspects of the assessment at the psychological diagnoses that will need to offer scholarships to individuals so as to increase the pool of persons available for that particular diagnosis.
Speaking of diagnosis, he expounds why specialist intervention is critical beyond the obvious.
The murder rates, for example, have caused for many of our children to have adverse child experiences, both family, friends, communities. The domestic abuse have caused for many to have adverse child experiences. Hunger and the inability to satisfy that, the broken homes. So there's a lot of children that are not going to be diagnosed as disabled, but their dysfunction is based on the adverse child experiences. And they are within our concepts, ACE schools, that we can have persons taken out for 3 months, 6 months, whatever is needed for the necessary specialists to carry them past that dysfunction.
Meanwhile, as far as Crawford is concerned, the JLP-led government's national school feeding program has failed the children.
So they have a nutrition policy, but there needs to be a mandate of what is to be consumed in the schools, the nutritional value, because there are people with funds are able to purchase that are still malnourished because they're buying tickets for more than $76. So to that extent, we believe that the major difference is the number of persons to benefit, over 100,000 more. The cost that is assigned, 200% or 100% more, $400 to $180. The caloric intake that it will cover a higher caloric intake, and the type of meal that we'll be able to offer, which would be a more nutritious meal.
Curlin Brown, CVM News.
The 2020 election saw a change in representation, and the local 2024 elections suggest a potential shift that the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party, battling for the votes in St. Thomas Eastern, could bring. The constituency remains a competitive battleground that will be fought by 2 women. Time now for Numbers Don't Lie.
The St. Thomas Eastern constituency has a rich political history marked by the dominance of a certain political family dynasty and 6-star general. Pernell Charles Sr. from the JLP held significant sway in the 1980s. The PNP's Dr. Fenton Ferguson then beat Charles for the seat in 1993, holding it for 6 consecutive terms until 2020. Ferguson faced close contests, particularly in 2007 and 2011, when he narrowly defeated Patrice Charles, Pernell Charles' daughter. In 2016, he also managed to win against a young Turk, Delano Severite. But in the 2020 election, the ground shook in St. Thomas Eastern. Dr. Michelle Charles, another member of the Charles family, defeated Ferguson by 731 votes, winning 3 of the 4 divisions and keeping the race close in the Bath division. This victory marked the end of Ferguson's tenure in St. Thomas Eastern and a political career at the representation and executive level. However, at the local level in 2024, there was another shift in local support towards the PNP. The PNP candidate won 3 out of 4 divisions, securing an overall majority of the votes. And the battle in the constituency straddles both parties. Since 1962, both the PNP and the JLP have each won the seat 7 times. The current political dynamics involve Dr. Michelle Charles, who aims to establish her own winning streak following in the footsteps of her father, Pernell Charles. Rosemary Shaw, a PNP aspirant and former mayor and current councillor for the Morant Bay Division, hopes to replicate her local success at the constituency level. Angela Melville, CVM News.
4 men, 2 of whom are said to be brothers, were fatally shot by members of the security forces in 3 separate incidents in the parish of Westmoreland on Thursday. The siblings have been identified as 22-year-old Jaden Love and 23-year-old Jordan Love, both of Hermitage District, and another unidentified male, all of Bethel Town. Well, reports are that about 5 p.m., the lawmen carried out an operation at a house occupied by the brothers in Hermitage. On their arrival at the premises, the police say they were fired upon by armed men and the gunfire was reportedly returned, resulting in Jaden and Jordan being fatally shot. One C7 9mm semi-automatic pistol fitted with a magazine containing 3 live 9mm cartridges and a Gerson 9mm pistol fitted with more cartridges were also seized. Meanwhile, police have confirmed that the man who was fatally shot in George's Plain, Westmoreland on Thursday has been positively identified as 31-year-old Keno Plummer, the man who reportedly killed his father, 70-year-old Bertie Chunkus Plummer, at his farm in Cornwall District. It's reported that Keno shot and killed his father on his farm after he asked him for money to spend on his birthday, but his father reportedly refused. We take a break. Stay with us for more news in a moment.
The future belongs to the bold, to those ready to realign with purpose and prosperity. Realign 2025 connects Africa and the Caribbean, where innovation meets investment. Featuring Senator the Honorable Audrey Marks, Nigerian Ambassador Janet Olisa, David Mullings, Anthony Hilton, and Christopher Denny. For SMEs, funding partnerships and global market entry. June 25 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Realign with your destiny. Register now at entropartners.com/re-align.
It's just joy and niceness whenever we get together. And that smile on your face is something to treasure. Yes, in life's ups and downs, you've always been here beside me. And the good times only get better. Loving you has been my pleasure.
Thank you for 50 years of good smiles. We're celebrating 50 years of wonderful times. Thank you for 50 years, what a life.
Love is a big deal and we know it. Don't gotta tell the world cause we show it.
So no matter where you go, all you need to do is take a little piece of me with you. Grateful that in these special moments I'm the one that you always chosen.
50 years of dreams, 50 years of finger-licking good memories.
Thank you, Jamaica, for 50 years of finger-licking good memories.
What you did for fun?
Running. I love running. From I was a little girl, I remember that everything I do, I would run. And as a result, my mom made me the child of choice to be sent to the supermarket. Was it Rio or was it Beijing World Championship? I ran it off my lane. I didn't hit anybody, so I got the finals. I ran my heart out and I got bronze. I make sure that the last thing I do on the track is pray. Always put the race in God's hand. And by doing that, whatever the result is, I can be at peace.
10 jumping jacks.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, you better work. 5, 6.
Thanks so much for staying with us. In a bid to boost classroom productivity, Chairperson on Technology and Innovation, spokesperson on Technology and Innovation, Dr. Andre Horton, discusses plans to utilize artificial intelligence, AI, in the education sector as more Jamaicans are embracing technology.
We need them now to move from that 18% who graduate with CXCs to at least 70% graduating with CXCs. We need proper AI systems to check and balance all the students coming from the communities who are going to school to be registered at school, to make sure that they are in class learning, and also support services. Because as an educator myself, I can tell you that there is a silent revolution taking place in how people are educated. The days of dictating to people and chalk and cheese and so on, it's a thing of the past. These students are learning far faster than we are, and they have far greater resources, and it's up to us not to belittle technology and keep Jamaica behind, but it's up to us to embrace technology learning and to give our young people the foundation that they need and to support them using artificial intelligence, because many teachers believe that artificial intelligence is going to compete with the student and also compete with them. No. Artificial intelligence is a tool that is going to allow the students to learn more information per unit of time and allowing them to become more productive.
He also wants to accelerate bank transactions in order to bolster business and save time.
We're losing the ability of cash to move quickly. Gone are the days you want to transact business and you send the money through the bank transfer and the person is in the line waiting from 9 p.m. You send the money from 8 a.m. in the morning, and sometimes it goes through, sometimes it does not. We need financial solutions that are quick and right on spot. And the People's National Party recognize this because we need fintech solutions. We can't say, okay, somebody wants to do something in Montego Bay. We go to the bank 9 a.m. in the morning. We send the money is not going to them until 3 p.m. that afternoon. That is slowing up the locomotion of the lifeblood of the economy, which is money. So financial technology is going to be very important if this country wants transactions to move faster and they want more output per unit of time.
Dr. Horton was speaking at the PNP's Kingston and St. Andrew Town Hall for last evening. Ahead of the break, we take a look at social media.
So, what's hot in the social media landscape today? Jamaican Olympic champions Roger Stoner and Rajendra Campbell have switched allegiance to Turkey, effective June 19, 2025. Stoner, who holds the Olympic record in discus, and Campbell, a bronze medalist in shot put, will now represent Turkey in global competitions. Let's take a look at your reactions. At the Morrisland writes, hurtful as it is to see a countryman switch allegiance and wear the flag of another nation, I can't say I blame them for doing it. At Mahil66 shares, unless there is a restriction against this switch of allegiance, this will continue to happen. Small countries don't have the money to prevent this from happening. At Coconut Water 1999 posts, I know it's a good financial decision, but it still hurts a little bit. At Azula Moonchild comments, whoa, can't even be mad at this decision. They don't really appreciate the field sports in Jamaica, which is sad. At Gnell0133 adds, heartbroken, but patriotism cannot feed your family. All the best, my lovelies. Blessings. At Tahira.Talia says, if this isn't a sign that Jamaica needs to do more to support their athletes, then I don't know what is. And that's what's trending online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVM TV and CVM_television on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Michael Paul.
We take a break. Stay with us.
Crispy
crispy barbecue zinger from KFC. Available for a limited time. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
The time by KFC is...
Quartz presents their 2025 furniture event, The Art of Living, at all Quartz stores nationwide. Up to 50% off select furniture brands and styles, plus a free TV with the purchase of select lounge pieces. Get a 3-piece bedroom set for only $169,999. Complete the look with our designer rugs and accessories. Shop now and pay later on 6 to 48 months credit. So don't miss The Art of Living 2025 furniture event happening now, only at Quartz, bringing value home. Offer ends June 24, 2025. Conditions apply.
What you did for fun?
Running. I love running. From I was a little girl, I remember that everything I do, I would run. And as a result, my mom made me the child of choice to be sent to the supermarket. Was it Rio or was it Beijing World Championship? I ran it off my lane. I didn't hit anybody, so I got the finals. I ran my heart out and I got bronze. I make sure that the last thing I do on the track is pray. Always put the race in God's hand. And by doing that, whatever the result is, I can be at peace.
10 jumping jacks.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. You better work. 5, 6.
Welcome back, and we're happy to see you because Ronaldo Adams now joins us for a quick look at what's to come in sports.
Good evening, Mika. Thank you so much, and good evening, viewers. I'm afraid it's not looking good for Jamaica's current track and field scene, as you mentioned, as we have seen earlier in the social media segment. Roger Estonia, Olympic gold medalist, and Olympic bronze medalist Rajendra Campbell, they're both applying to switch their allegiances to Turkey. And this is quite critical as we are on the brink of World Championships in just a matter of weeks, right, in 2025. And we also have another World Championships in 2027. So, of course, we'll have much more to delve into for sports. So I'll see you then. Thank you.
All right, there you have it from Ronaldo. But now we will take a look at the issue in Iran.
Israeli strikes on Iran have intensified. The military struck near Iran's heavy water facility at Hondab. That's part of the country's nuclear program. The facility is still under construction and not expected to start operating until next year. But observers say there's no risk of a nuclear leak.
That is of no danger to people outside the immediate area of a bombing. You're more likely to be killed by the bomb than you are by something from the uranium itself. It poses no danger whatsoever to people outside a few kilometers from each one of these plants. Chemical and radiologic hazards are quite small. The one counter to this is Bushehr, which is a major power plant, nuclear power plant. If someone were to attack that plant, you would expect that the worst case would be something like Fukushima. There could be releases of material in the immediate region as well, but it's well contained inside a large concrete dome.
In the last 24 hours, Israel has targeted the headquarters of Iran's internal security agency in Tehran and military facilities across the capital. As the violence shows no sign of slowing down, internet services across Iran are facing disruptions and air travel remains suspended. Meanwhile, Iranian missiles struck across Israel on day 7. The biggest hospital in southern Israel is damaged in one attack. The Iranian military says Soroka Hospital in Beersheba is next to an Israeli military headquarters, and the strike targeted that building.
We have 40 injured people from people who were in the hospital at the time. The vast majority of these staff and patients are lightly wounded from broken glass, falling ceilings, and other effects. They were all treated in our emergency department.
Tel Aviv and other locations were also hit by dozens of missiles. A business district and residential areas were damaged as Israeli air defenses struggle against Iranian missiles. And the more it drags on, hope of a negotiated solution is fading.
And now your weather report. We take a break, but there's so much more to come right after.
In a world where innovation meets tradition, agriculture is evolving like never before. From the latest sustainable farming technologies to age-old practices passed down through generation, agriculture is
precious to me.
I love the animals. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I love working.
Join us right here on CVM TV every Sunday during news at 7 as we explore the people, the science, and the breakthroughs that are shaping the way we grow, eat, and live. You don't want to miss it. This is Farming Forward. The future belongs to the bold, to those ready to realign with purpose and prosperity. Realign 2025 connects Africa and the Caribbean, where innovation meets investment. Featuring Senator the Honorable Audrey Marks, Nigerian Ambassador Janet Olisa, David Mullings, Anthony Hilton, and Christopher Denny. For SMEs, funding partnerships and global market entry. June 25 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Realign with your destiny. Register now at entropartners.com/re-align.